everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Jay Durena. If you're looking for a place that's packed with restless ghosts that are eager to torment your spirit and has enough hazards to make you join them as one of these ghosts in the afterlife, then you're going to love today's list of top 10 scary abandoned factories. This list is jam-packed full of entities that have a tendency to suck out someone's soul right out of their warm meat sack and scaffolding that violates every workplace standard. I can't imagine a place I would like to visit less. I think I would rather go scuba diving with a dive center that has a 1-star review than spend an evening walking around one of these death traps on this list. As always guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. If you guys are dying for more Most Amazing Top 10 content, be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. There's a ton of more content over there for you guys to go see, so please go check it out. It's such good stuff. And everyone at home, you're going to want to stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to be reading out comments from the top 10 mysterious disappearances we will never solve video. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have the Connor Stamping Plant, Detroit. Detroit used to be a car development powerhouse. People were moving across the country to start up a new life in that city. Why? Because there was jobs and people needed that sweet, sweet cheddar, baby. People crave money and a stable living situation, like Mormons crave masturbation. Well, everyone thought that moving to Detroit would work out perfectly with the auto industry blowing up, but eventually the industry crumbled when all the jobs moved overseas and millions of people lost their jobs all over America. And Detroit went from being a budding metropolis to a wasteland. And the Connor Stamping Plant is a perfect example of that. In its heyday, it was the best place to go snag parts for your Buick or Oldsmobile, but now it's a crumbling grave. This place should definitely freak you out because it's a physical representation of people losing everything. And if that doesn't get you, it'll freak you out because it's a straight up death trap. Walking through this thing is riskier than an orgy at Coachella, and that place is dirty. If you're dumb enough to go for a walk through this death trap, then let me know. I want to say I told you so when you fall a few stories and break both your ankles. At 9 is the General Motors factory in Longbridge, UK. This one is so eerie, it's such a strange feel to it because it was recently abandoned. Back in 2017, YouTube channel Abandoned World went to go check out this factory. While exploring, they came across so much stuff. There were unused cars, working water, working lights, and even unboxed parts. It feels like a scene right out of a zombie movie. It looks like everyone just left in a matter of seconds. It has the apocalypse right over the horizon kind of feel to it. Gives you a glimpse into what this might look like if the world goes to crap. Also, it gives me a good idea of where I could build my hideout when everything goes to hell. I'll have my nice team of cannibals all living there. At number 8, we have the Crystal Glass Factory in Germany. This place is a cross between a mystical wonder with shards of colorful glass spread all over the plant, and a toxic swamp with unused chemicals placed throughout this rotted building. This place kind of reminds me of petting a cat. It's so cute and nice, and then it will claw you for no reason, leaving you bleeding and confused. This factory was running for over 150 years and was one of the largest producers of glass in the area. I want to thank YouTube channel Broken Window Theory for exploring the place. If it wasn't for YouTube, I would never be able to do this video. I love it when people risk getting arrested and seriously injured for my viewing pleasure. There are some parts to this place that are very beautiful, like the colored glass pellets that are found all around the property. They look like little poops that came out of a glass statue. But once you go inside, it feels a lot more like a gang hideout. Most of the tools have been looted and there's graffiti on some of the walls. And there are offices that are packed with supplies. I guess when you lose your job because a place is shutting down, you don't clean up after yourself. You grab your computer monitor and you get the hell out of there.
This glass factory had to declare bankruptcy in the following years. It was tried to sell the property at several auctions, but there were simply no interested parties.
At number 7, we have the Ice Factory in KOLMANSKOP, Namibia. KOLMANSKOP was once one of the top locations for digging up diamonds. This was discovered in the early 1900s, and in 1912, KOLMANSKOP was producing 12% of the world's diamonds. So naturally, with this place cranking out so much rock, they started to build a nice little city around it. This place was blowing up and they were making so much money off of diamonds, they could pay to buy Paul Wall's grill collection 10 times over. The Ice Factory supplied jobs for some of the people who weren't working in the diamond mine. If you're unfamiliar with an ice factory, it's a place where they would house giant blocks of ice, cut them down into small blocks, and then sell them to people. This was the best means of refrigeration back then. KOLMANSKOP had it made until the diamonds dried up. The whole area quickly became abandoned, and the ice factory is now a hollow shell swallowed by the desert. The whole place gives the feeling of a mirage you would see after walking in the sun for hours. You get a beat of excitement in your heart, only to find out that the place is deserted and there wasn't a drop of water to be found. At number 6, we have Pig Feed Factory. Now, I couldn't find out exactly where this factory was located. It was explored by the YouTuber's proper people, and it made me very happy that you can't smell YouTube shows. While exploring the 15-story abandoned pig feed factory, the main thing that they kept commenting about was how horrible the smell was.
Oh god, it does smell like oh.
From the sounds of it, this place smells like hangover farts crossed with athlete's foot. Nothing like a factory full of rotting pig feed to really get your appetite flowing. On top of the rancid smell, this place was so run down that one wrong step would lead to broken bones and most likely getting trapped. At number 5, we have the GUNKANJIMA coal plant, Japan. Hard to say. An old coal plant. I bet the air quality is fabulous. You probably want to stay away from this one just to avoid contracting the black lung. This place is located on the Hashima Island. The entire island was once teeming with life. Most people were living off the jobs supplied by the underwater coal mine. But once the mine dried up, the entire area was shut down and the whole place became a skeleton of a city. Now you can take tourist trips just to go check out the island and see all the ruins. At number 4, we have the Jupiter factory in Pripyat, Ukraine. If you know a little bit about history, or you frequent this channel, you already know why this factory was abandoned. Pripyat is the city closest to the world famous Chernobyl. So when everyone got word that radiation was literally flying through the air, this place was shut down in seconds. It used to produce parts for household appliances, but now it's just a shell. Sort of a landmark and a reminder of what the area used to be like. It's crazy to think how much life was disrupted by the Chernobyl meltdown, and how freaky this factory is. I'm glad it didn't produce anything organic. I wouldn't want the radiation to kick off some sort of zombie holocaust. At number 3, we have a fish factory in Lena Kamari, Russia. I couldn't imagine anything that would smell worse than an old forgotten fish factory. It would smell like a never-ending stench of opening old Tupperware that has cat food in it. Just the thought of it makes me wanna gag. This fish factory was once the main food supplier for a strategic fishing village. The Russians and the Finnish both used this area as a hub for military development back in the early 1900s, but after World War II it lost its value and everyone headed for the hills, leaving the fish factory and a pile of fish guts behind for everyone to smell. Hooray. At number 2, we have an abandoned fabric factory. The YouTube channel Hell and Back does a pretty funny job of an exploration of this fabric factory. This place has massive machines left behind, and some of them still have fabric running through them. It makes you wonder if they just press a button to shut down the whole place and everyone just picks up their suitcase and then walks out. How does no one take any of this stuff? Or why wasn't it just sold off? There's massive fabric machines in there. They must be worth millions of dollars. There was even a huge brand new forklift. You can just drive that home. It has wheels. It has to be worth something. And at number 1, we have the Hot for Now blast furnace in Belgium. This is known as the world's largest abandoned factory. An aerial shot of this place looks like a rusted transformer graveyard. You could probably hide out in there for days before a giant hunk of metal fell on you and crushed your whole body. This was an active plant for most of the 20th century, right up until 2008. It was mainly used to produce scrap metal for cars, but when the American stock market crashed, it ruined all of that. The plant closed down, thousands of people lost their jobs, and now the place just sits there like a giant red beast waiting to have the fire in its heart reignited. Alright everyone, that is our list, and now as I promised I'm going to be reading through comments from the top 10 mysterious disappearances we will never solve video. Mr. Laughs wrote, number 1, Where's Waldo? Touche, I should have put Where's Waldo on the list, that would have been very funny. Bob Bobberts wrote, the Jacob Weddingler case was actually solved. See, that's why I need you guys in the comments. You keep me on my toes, you make me see where I'm screwing up. Thank you very much, Bob Bobberts. And Carly Robinson wrote, he died from having too much sex? Perfect way to go. Carly, couldn't agree more. Well everyone, that is it. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you so much for watching this video. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, hit up the comment section as much as you guys can because it really helps me produce better content for you. And if you guys need more Most Amazing content, go check us out on Instagram and Facebook because there's a ton more stuff over there. Until next time, I've been Shade Arena, and I'm not going to be in a factory anytime soon. Bye.